has left. Let's go to the Dade Emergency Operations Center, which is based actually here in Doral. Maribel Rodriguez is there for us, and she's been there all night long, and she's standing with a guest. Maribel, I'll throw it over to you.
Hey guys, good morning. I'm joined by Mike Hernandez. He is the Director of Communications for the county. Mike, good morning. I know you guys have been working 24 hours. You've been on lockdown here at the Emergency Operations Center. Tell us some of the calls, some of the 911 calls that you've been receiving up until now.
It's important to note that the 911 calls, depending upon where you are, depending upon wind speeds, they may not be answered right away. Obviously, you'll have someone on the other end of the line, but if firefighters or fire rescue can't get to you due to weather, that's a circumstance that we have to handle until wind speeds come below 35 miles an hour. But most of the calls that we've been receiving are pretty routine during a storm. There has been one that I don't know yet. I don't know the status. I need to speak to Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, but a woman was about to give birth. And our fire rescue team was on site. Obviously, those are extraordinary circumstances. But the majority of the calls to 311, the 311 call center, have had to do with electrical outages. Understand that we report that to FP&L, and they probably know already if you're out of power. About 80% of the calls we're receiving are on power, but FPL is not coming out to restore power until those wind speeds come down. Their employees and their contractors can't be at risk either. So, and by law, they can't be out if it's 35 miles or more. So please have patience. Irma is here. The weather event we've been preparing for days is here. Do not leave a shelter if you are in one. Do not leave your home if you are in your home or wherever you are for this storm. It's not the time to be curious. The curiosity killed the cat. Don't go outside of your houses. Don't go outside of your shelters just to take a look around the neighborhood. It's not safe right now until this weather event concludes, which we hope, according to forecast, will be at the end of today.
As you mentioned, the county has been preparing for Irma for several days now. The day is finally here. So we have to have patience. The folks have to stay indoors and not venture out. We've seen these gusts of wind come out of nowhere and can really knock you over.
That's the issue, though. We can't predict when a wind gust is going to come. So you could be walking through your neighborhood, you could feel perfectly fine and pleasant, and then you have a wind gust of 80, 90 miles an hour. That threatens life because you have large trees. If you see a down power line, consider that power line live. It could electrocute you. Move away from it. Report it immediately to FP&L 1-800-4-OUTAGE, OUTAGE. Get that information to the folks that need it and stay away. That's why we're asking everyone, please stay home or stay in your shelters. I can't emphasize that enough. Do not go venturing out today. I know we all get a little bit of cabin fever, but it's necessary to save lives. So we ask for the public's cooperation and their patience.
Patience, absolutely. Some folks lost their power early this morning, but if that's all that pretty much happens to Miami-Dade County and some downed trees, we're very grateful at this point. However, it's not over yet. As you mentioned, there's a 311 number to call, which is the county. You're not encouraging people who have power outages to call that number, and we want to try to reiterate that so they will not pack those lines with those calls.
Although 311 has been functioning 24 hours a day, we're asking you to call 311 for county-related services, outages, debris, the routine issues that you usually call 311 for. If you have an emergency, it's still 911. If it's a power outage, 1-800-4-OUTAGE with Florida Power and Light. They can restore your power. We can pass the information along, but again, whether it's police and fire or Florida Power and Light, your power won't be restored until 35 miles an hour or less. That's what the magic number is. Wind speeds need to be below tropical storm strength for their workers and their contractors to go out. Please be patient. The last number I received just before starting the interview was about 575,000 customers in Miami-Dade that don't have power at this time. The number will fluctuate up and down. As wind speeds come down, their groups are deployed. So please have patience. That's what we're asking for.
And at this point, FPL workers are not going out. It's too dangerous for them.
It depends on the area. They have meteorologists that explain to them this area is safe, but as soon as that wind speed hits, they have to shelter down. So what we're asking for, again, is the public, yes, you report the outages. Chances are FPL system, it's pretty sophisticated. They probably know if there's an outage. However, the most frustrating aspect, if it is, the most frustrating aspect would be without power. That's actually not so bad. What we are concerned with here in the county, of course, is storm surge. The forecast yesterday was 4 to 6 feet maximum, especially in the southern end of the county, which is why Mayor Jimenez had ordered that evacuation of Zone C, portions of Zone C. It's because of the storm surge. And that actually would be more of an event as the storm went up. The further up that storm went, the chances of a storm surge increasing. So we by no means are looking at just an afternoon event. We're talking about an event that drags on into the late evening hours, possibly even past midnight.
So it's going to continue. Do we know what certain zones have been affected?
All of them. Zone
More?
A, Zone A and B, which are mostly coastal. The reason why the mayor issued that evacuation order is because we understood that the likelihood of flooding was higher in those areas. And we also did the same in Zone C. And all of that is based off of the National Weather Service and National Hurricane Center providing us a steady stream of updates. When I leave here, I'm going back in and talking to the Weather Service, Florida National Guard, everyone that's involved in not just the storm preparations and now during the storm, but also the recovery. So I'll have that information, but please, again, stay indoors. That's the key message. If you have power and can watch stations like yours, I apologize, or listen to radio or read, please do so. But understand that the information coming today, a lot of it is going to be asking for patience on behalf of our residents. We're in this for the long haul. It's going to be a long day.
And what's that message that you want to send out to residents? I know maybe there's a lot of anxiety. People have been asking me, how much longer is this going to take? How much longer are we going to hear that howling sound?
One of the challenges that we're having with this storm, according to the Weather Service, is up until last night, it was moving at 5-6 miles an hour, the storm itself. Okay, when that's the case and you have a slow-moving storm, it's going to take time to clear the area. So I can't give you an exact figure of how much time. All we've been told by the Weather Service in their forecast is this is an all-day event.
But the county is ready. The county is prepared as soon as the storm is over. That's the type of reassurance that we want to give our viewers.
Mayor,
it's okay. Just stay put at home and let the county get the first responders to go out there and not you.
This isn't our first rodeo. There will be damage. There will be things that we can evaluate later and say, okay, maybe we could do better. But ultimately, this is the best, as Mayor Jimenez has said, this is the best prepared county, at least in the state of Florida, he feels, in the country. But again, that doesn't mean we're not going to have damage. It's just we have to weather the storm together, and we are asking for patience. Please stay in your homes. Do not venture out and wait this out with us. And as soon as we can get all our services deployed, the trash pickup, that's going to be a big service request. We will do so, but we need this storm to clear.
And let the professionals do their job. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
We'll see you later with the mayor. He'll be out here a little bit later today. All right, well, there you have it. Rick Rudabay, back to you.
Maribel, thank you very much.
Thanks,
and we have
Maribel.
word that